Okay, we'll give it a little time for people to come in. Stream connection, stream health showing excellent so far. Awesome. All right. Okay, let's get the output going on my other two areas. Excuse the squeaks of my chair. Okay, stream health is still excellent. Sweet. Okay, I think my kick stream might be a little behind a little bit, but that's all right. Okay, so yeah, this is a test stream. I'm basically going to be doing different things to see what my streaming can handle. Basically, I have a good computer, but basically seeing how far I can push it. So I'm multi-streaming. So right now I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. And so just let me know whichever platform you're watching on if you're seeing a lot of like buffering or drops on my end. I'm going to be keeping track of that as well. And so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be playing a couple of games on my computer to see if that affects it in any way. Plus, I got some dailies to do in a couple of games, so two birds with one stone kind of thing, you know. And then after that, if you guys want to get into some, just chat or want me to do a couple of reactions here, then we'll do that as well. See, Jeffrey Champion, how you doing? What do I think of the Tyler the Creator album? I haven't gotten into Tyler the Creator. I haven't listened to any of his stuff. And I hope you guys caught the update video I did. As of right now, I'm not doing anything mainstream because UMG have sent me a couple of warnings, and so I'm not trying to have them send copyright strikes at me. So, per the update video, as of right now, I'm not doing any mainstream reactions unless I know for sure I'm cleared to do it. Like, for example, what I mentioned on there, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm clear to do Megan Thee Stallion because she does revenue sharing, which is very rare and very great for us. So, if it's not one of those exceptions, then it's not gonna happen. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. Otherwise, if there's any YouTubers that you want me to check out, definitely put them on here. I do have some people I'm gonna try to catch up on. I don't know if I'm gonna do it today, but I'm definitely gonna do it. Like Harry Mack. Harry Mack doesn't, he's not under UMG at all, so I don't have to worry about anything like that happening. He's not a signed artist; he's an independent artist. Stuff like that. So just keep in mind, I know there's all kinds of stuff you might want to see me react to, but as of right now, if it's mainstream music, I can't do it. Okay, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But all right. So the first thing I'm gonna get into do is I'm about to load up one of my games and do my dailies. I am a huge fan of Wuthering Waves, so I'm gonna do my dailies in that real quick, and then we'll move on to something else. I might play some Fortnite or something, and then throw in the chat if there's anything. I need to actually add all of my chats to here, but I'm gonna learn how to do that. Like I said, these are test streams. We're getting everything together. Getting everything together. Let me see. Add. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with this for a little bit because I haven't streamed in so long. I've only like been recording and making videos and stuff. So let me see here. I don't know, but I'm keeping up with the chats in my stream, so I will see it. I have everything up and everything ready. Okay, so yeah, I can see all my chats even though they're not popping up right now. So yeah. All right. So let's give this game a minute to load up. Oh snap! I was not trying to do all that. Let's change the audio. There we go. Let's bring that output down a little bit so it's not blasting to you guys' ears. I'll have it up in just a second. Got to get that second screen going. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Let me fix this window just a little bit. There we are. So I'm not taking up a whole lot of space on the screen. Sweet. All right. So what do I have to do today? I think all I have to do today is do my regular dailies, and then I'm not sure. I think I have some other stuff to do. I know I have maybe like an event to do, but I haven't. Oh yeah, deep sea survey. I haven't done that yet. Dreaming deep. This I've really been dragging my feet on. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I already did that event. I need to do. Oh yeah, a lot of weeklies. All right. So first things first. Go after one of the weekly bosses. Who do we have? Or which weekly should I do? You know what? I feel like I'm gonna have a character where I'm gonna need his eventually, so. Oh no, weeklies. There we go. I'm not sure because I'm not even rolling for any characters right now. So screw it. I'm pretty sure I need some more of these for some characters, so we'll do this one. Who am I even using right now? I didn't even look to see who I was using.
I wonder if the unrest here has spread to Raguna. I'd better return and check it out.
Oh, okay.
Sentinel protects me.
Ah, stuck underneath them.
I'm fine.
There we go. I was like stuck for a second. Okay.
In war with time. Loading. Sentinel protects me. Doesn't hurt. I'm okay. Bluebird, be my salvation. I call upon the Sentinel.
Come on, health bar, show up already. There we go. Time to shred him.
Now I have a report to write.
Diminish.
And that takes care of that. Okay. Now, what character am I going to work on? I'm not sure. I do need to do the daily. Let's get these weeklies in.
Dark forces approach. Beyond.
Oh, he totally canceled it. What the hell? Never seen that before.
Come at me.
Sentinel protects me.
There. That takes care of that. What do we have next? Yeah, I'm gonna do that sometime later, probably off stream. So, do. Okay, I'm basically done for now.
Today will be a fine day.
Okay, he's the one I need to finish building. Oh, I should have ran his. Oh well, I'll do that next week. All right. Overall status is still showing excellent. Test stream is going good thus far. I'm not sure about my kick. I think my kick views are still struggling a bit. I'm not sure what's going on here. It says 18 minutes ago.
May thy love endure forever.
Okay,
Never
there it is. That's...
ceasing.
Hello, how are you? By the way, I have an offer for you. Okay. Sorry I didn't see that earlier, but if you're still there, go ahead. What's your offer? Why don't you use overlays for your webcam? I'm probably gonna do that at some point in the future. Like I said, this is a test stream, just getting my stuff going. I haven't streamed in a couple of years, so I have to get acclimated with all the new features that didn't exist back when I was I've been a YouTuber for the longest time, but yeah. Now that I'm in a position where I can do it, I'm coming back to the streaming space. Alright, so that's enough woo-wah for now. I did my dailies, wasn't really planning on doing anything big. If you guys want to see more, like, I did the story quest already a few days ago. But if you guys do want to see me do this game, be sure to let me know, and I'll start streaming it on my gaming channel. If you're on Kick or on Twitch, you'll see everything. But when it comes to YouTube, I do have things sectioned off. There's my reaction channel and my gaming channel, and stuff will upload to the appropriate channel. And I'm also going to stream on the appropriate channel depending on what I'm doing too. So once I get this going again, when I'm doing a reaction stream, it's going to be on the reaction channel. If I'm doing a game stream, it's going to be on the gaming channel. Same thing on my Star Wars channel. So if I'm talking about Star Wars, it might be on the reaction channel if it flows that way, but I'll most likely be trying to do dedicated streams for that on the respective channel. My IG is the same as my name, RYUDO'S on both Twitch and Kick. It's the same thing on IG. All right, I'll look at your stuff, and if I like it, I may hit you up. But otherwise, as of right now, let's close this out. And I'm about to check out and get on some Fortnite for a bit. Because Fortnite streams, well, I'm a big Fortnite fan. And so definitely want to make sure it can handle me playing Fortnite. Get that a minute to load up. Play a couple of solo rounds. Have some fun with it. I'm gonna do some crazy stuff. If I can get my hands on some explosives, see if anything will cause my stuff to lag. Check my DMs. I will definitely do so. In fact, yeah, it's still loading time. I can check real quick. All right, let's get this going. Okay, I see the link that you sent me. All right. Okay, where am I gonna land at? Screw it. Jump out there. Let's see if I can take this boss. Who do I think won, Skepta or Jordan Lucas? I'll be honest with you, I haven't checked it out yet. Should I check it out off stream and then give you guys a review? I could do that. Like I said, I just got to keep IGN off my ass, man. I mean UMG. IGN. What the hell? UMG off my ass, man. They're not happy with me reacting to mainstream. So if you want me to give my like thoughts, like check it out and then give like a review of it and talk about who I think won, I could do that. Definitely. They can't stop me from doing that. Oh, I don't have to do all that craziness. I'm right here. Another steps like a normal person. I don't see anybody else's footsteps, so I hope I'm by myself with this guy. What the? You don't see me. You don't see me. Ah, jeez. I did not want him noticing me that soon. Jerk. Get off my ass. Ah, damn. Okay, fine. Oh, I saw somebody. Where you at, jerk? Where you at? He's running up here. Where is he hiding? He's down here somewhere. Oh, that's a bot. Here, give me that ammo. Thank you. Ooh, doggy bones. Oh, got more ammo here. And again, if you guys could, let me know if you see any drops, if you see a lag or anything, because I want to notice any issues on this run so I can try to work out the kinks later. There. Takes care of him. Ooh, I can carry a second one of these. Give me this gun. What's this boost? Increase reload speed. Shield passively regenerates. Nice. Okay, so if I passively regenerate, I technically don't need to have 2 of these. I guess I could swap this for a visor. Spire rifles, yeah. I was working with what I had. I had just landed here, but we made it happen. Oh, now somebody's running up, huh? Oh, snap. Did not mean to do all that. I thought there was ground right there. And again, a bot. Okay. The island medallion is also good. Are you serious? Get the hell out of here, bot. Ooh, sweet. Damn it. Okay, what do I give up? Should I give up this gun? Jesus, go away. Stupid bots, I swear. You're annoying. Okay, I like this gun a little bit better. I want to keep some healing on me. So, I don't know. What should I give up? If anything. Yeah. Some mobility. This person behind me? Yep, they are. They're chasing me. Let's see if I can get rid of them. There we go. Whew, got rid of them. Oh, better car, more fuel, less damage. Let's go. Say movement is the cape for you. Yeah, if I had the gloves with like the bats, then I would definitely do the cape. Because since they combine together. Hey, buddy. crap, who's this? What power up is that? Because that shit has been annoying the hell out of me. Whoa, I went too far. No! Get back up there. Let's see if I can ram her, knock her off. Is she still there? Yes, she is. Oh, snap. That's a bot. Oh, crap. Get out of here. You're not, not getting me. Jeez. Whew. Let's have some fun. Oh, they were too busy fighting. We'll take this way. Oh snap, I'm almost out of fuel. Where's the gas station? That way. Can I make it is the real question. I'm not sure if I can make it. Oh, it's right there. Just a little further. Probably shouldn't boost again. That would waste what little gas I have. Come on. Yes. Whew, back in business. Oh, the boss up there still. I wonder if I can get that one real quick. Get out of here. Whoa! Where'd you run to? Oh, there you go. There. Takes care of that. Faster, invisible while sprinting. Sweet. Speed that process up real quick. And where did her... Oh, don't tell me her gun actually failed. Did it fall down here? Where did her gun go? I never got her gun. There it is. Yep, it did fall. Oops. That's wild. I've never had that happen. Goodbye. I don't know who y'all thought you was coming for, but it's not me. Now, I wish I got my hands on like the little gloves where you can knock people back. Those really come in handy late game, throwing people out the storm. Damn it, had to abandon my damn vehicle because of that. Oh, wait, is this one good? What's the condition on this one? 36. Oh, actually pretty damn good. Yeah, I should be able to get my car back. Well, there's too much going on over here. Okay. Goodbye. Ugh. Stuck the landing. 10 out of 10. Okay, I'm gonna have to ditch this vehicle. It's almost out of gas. Well, easy. Don't go falling, because then I'm dead. He's there. And you got him. Nice. Okay, so he's got a bot with him. Damn it. Okay, nobody's around here quite yet. Whoa! Oh, there's only 4 of us left? Yeah, I have to be real careful now. Crap. I'm glad I saved this. I got plenty of energy left. Some more ammo, maybe? Yeah, some more ammo. Okay. Can't see anything here. Gotcha. Oh, is that like my first actual kill of the game? Jeez. Yeah. Woo! And that's a dub. That's a dub. Unlimited power. Whew. All right. Oh no, I didn't need the vital scan. I already saw where he was at. Okay, so were there any drops at all in that session? Were there any issues that you noticed? Any lag, any buffering happening, or was it all smooth? I wasn't even expecting to win that one. I was just playing, but all right, let's go again. Smooth for me. Thank you so much for the input. Then I'm gonna play this next round just for fun. If I win, lose, whatever happens, happens. And then after that, I'm gonna do a reaction. There's a couple of reactions I've been wanting to catch up on, and I'm gonna test it out. OBS is supposed to allow you to record on your computer while you're streaming, so I'm gonna test out that feature for that. And we're gonna go from there. If you don't mind, can you give me 5 minutes? I'm gonna look at because I saw the link that you sent me on IG, so I'm gonna take a look over it, and then I'm gonna message you, and we'll discuss from there. Jordan Lucas is 2-0 on Skepta. All right, so okay, you say he's beating him. Oh man, I would. It's so difficult because, like I said, I don't want IGN breathing down my neck. You know what? I'm gonna go this way this time. I'm gonna go after that because I have a mission to do over there. Yeah, man, I really wish I could do more, but Yeah, after IGN fucking audited my channel, that was like a warning for me to back off. So, you know, I don't have the money, the power, the clout, the backing to try and go up against something that big. So you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta back off. Which sucks for music reactors because it makes it harder for those channels to survive. Even my channel, I already know that there's plenty of people who wanted to see certain reactions that are not going to get to see them, and for that reason, you know. Am I taking song requests? Okay, that's just what I was talking about just now. And so, today is a test stream. I'm testing out what my computer can handle. I'm multi-streaming on YouTube, Tick, and Twitch. Tick. What am I talking about? Kick and Twitch. And yeah, after this round, I am gonna do some stuff. If it's not mainstream, then yes, I can do it. The problem is the fact that UMG, you know, has been getting on a lot of reactors, me included, and I'm avoiding all mainstream reactions so that I don't get copyright strikes from them. Okay, you know what? I will definitely do that. We will check that out. If you have a link, just make it easier. If you have the link to the video, just throw it in the chat so I can just click on it and jump over there. Why do I feel like I'm being stalked here? Ooh, what's this? Shotgun. This way? I don't see him yet. He's still downstairs. He's looking for me though, I can tell. Think so. Maybe. Oh snap, he sees me. Run! He got the visor! He's got the visor. Is he there? Damn it. I want the visor. If I can at least get a pinpoint on where he's at, I can get the drop on him first. But right now, he's got me. Oh, yep, there he is. Dummy! You thought that was a smart idea. Oh! He wasted me. He wasted me. If you can, drop the link in the chat so I can just click right over to it. Okay. Return to lobby. Oh man, that's the beauty of Fortnite. One moment you're killing it, taking the lead. Next moment you're dying before it even gets started. Okay, confirm. Done. And again, much appreciated. Let me know if you see any drops, any buffering, any issues with the stream. All right. All right, we're about to do this. This is, of course, a YouTube. This is going to be a YouTube video, of course, because, you know, why not? All right, guys. So, I want to say hi, YouTube, whatever, but here we go. All right, guys. We're about to check out. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. All right, so We got ourselves a reaction request for a Five Nights at Freddy's song, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 song, Game Over by DA Games. Okay, let's go ahead and check this one out, see what this is all about. Let's go. Oh jeez, I gave myself a little bit of a headache there. Oh man, I can't help it. That headbanger music. Oh man, he came in with it. Okay, kill my throat trying to do that. Wait. Are you supposed to do all that at the end of the video? Available in stores? We haven't even heard the song yet. That's confidence right there. He said, you're going to want to download this. You haven't even heard it yet, but you want this. You know you want this.
We are the darkness that corrupts you inside. Let the story unwind, turn away from your mind. When the timer starts ticking, we all know what you are thinking. You can hide all your mind, but the nightmare begins tonight.
Hey, that was a good opening right there. That song, like, is this going to be a song that's so good it doesn't need the game it came from? Like, those lyrics could be just a song by itself without saying this is from Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's see where this goes.
We take our places in the corner of your brain. All the cameras sustaining, all the images remaining. Controlling your demise and children in disguise. Let me take you on a journey from the torture that infects. Was it me who caused the fight? Was it me who led the try? Was it me who took the past and reinvented all your crime? Was it me who suffered more? All the blessings, all the fraud. Doesn't matter, all the same, 'cause it was you who was to blame. Now follow me to your death.
And yeah, follow me as well because I'm just trying to get those numbers up. All right. I like this so far though, but you know I'm eclectic. I like all forms of music, but so far I'm liking the vibe of this song right here. I gotta be careful. I want to headbang so bad, but I made myself half dizzy just now. But I don't know. I might do it again. Said silence was pure, but the blood is always yours. Whoo! That's a crazy line. Oh man, okay. Summon the cyanide is wild. Summon the cyanide is a wild thing to say. Okay.
Maybe the only reason we were left alone was the calls on the phone, telling lies right to the phone. Hope was nothing more than dreams.
Wait, what was that part right there? He says something lies into your bone. Oh, phone telling lies right to the bone. Okay. Is this supposed to be like the fact that the very first game, you know, you're a security guard and there's a phone taking calls and all the different phone messages and, you know, all the cryptic stuff. So you're being lied to. Okay, okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Your soul is all we want tonight. We need them souls to fuel those animatronics. swear, the summon the cyanide. That's like my favorite line thus far. It's so diabolical. It's so wild. Oh man.
There's no mercy for the darkness near. We'll try you questions to remove you without a trace.
Okay.
Let the blood back here.
This is the breakdown. Okay.
Let the silence break.
Yep.
As the night soon fades, make the chimes of light wade through the cracks and harmony sustains. Their children still trapped, their tired minds have snapped. They made you believe in peace, but the foes are just the same. We just want to say how in pain. Game over. We couldn't take it anymore. Game over. How could you kill us? My silence was pure, but the blood was always yours. Game over. Begin the clocks to kill your time. Game over. Summon the cyanide. Fears inside these tears. No mercy for the darkness near. Roselying crisis to remove you without a trace.
All right.
Hey, what's up, folks? Thank you guys so much for taking your time to listen to our
You're very welcome, and thank you so much. That was a pretty good song. Oh man. Oh, okay. Whew. Hey, you when I'm feeling it, just gotta go for it. The chat. Oh man. The head banging. I'm too old for that. But I can't help it. If it's too good, it's too good. Oh no, I like that one though. I like that one though. That was a song that was a good song on its own. You know how some songs only work just as a video game song. You have to know where it came from to understand it. This is the kind of song that you can vibe to even when they start talking about the in-lore stuff, like, you know, the children's souls and stuff like that. When they started dropping and talking about that, that's still the way they're doing it. It just goes right along with the song. You could play this for someone who loves this particular genre, without them knowing anything about Five Nights at Freddy, and I bet you they would like it. So yeah, great song altogether. So that's my verdict on that one. So y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Of course, let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And check out our lives because I'll be live streaming every week, at least once a week. Usually on Tuesdays, if possible. But alright, y'all. That's it for this one. Take care of yourselves. I'm out of here. Alright, so yeah, that's it for that one. Okay, if there's any other reactions to, you know, YouTube stuff, let me know. We can throw that in there. But yeah, that was a fun one. I enjoyed it. And let me see. I think I started at like 5:15, 5:20. I'll probably, it's like 6:21 now. Probably go for like until 7 o'clock here. But y'all let me know. Is there anything else you guys want me to check out? Because otherwise, there's a couple of Casual Geographics I want to check out that I haven't watched yet. That I've been putting off until I got my stream going again. But otherwise, yeah, let's go ahead and get it. So I believe, yeah, here it is. I've been waiting to watch this one until I, you know, got things back on track. Say 100 men versus a gorilla. I know this is going to be a hilarious one.
100 men versus one gorilla is just
All right. So y'all already know. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot. We kick back and react to all kind of different things. All right, so what we got going on today? We're about to check out some casual geographics. I've been wanting to check this one out for a while. I was putting it off until I got back because, of course, I wanted to check it out with y'all. This one is 100 men versus one gorilla. Everything you need to know. So yeah, I know the debate has kind of like finally fizzled out a little bit. I still see people talking about this online every now and then, but I wanted to see what our boy Casual Geographics had to say about this. Let's go ahead and check this out. See what he's got to say. Let's go.
100 men versus one gorilla is just the newest online debate brought to you by people that have way too much time on their hands. And I'm no better, because here I am making a video about it. Because it's quickly gone from silly Twitter talk to what has to be a massive joke that I'm not in on. What's clear is one side is getting drastically overrated, while people obviously aren't taking the other side seriously. Plus, I love animals and arguments, so if you're looking for a video to eat your lunch with, or to be the soundtrack of your commute home, I'm going to break down the question you probably didn't care about in the first place, and by the end, you'll wonder how this was ever even a question. So here's the full truth of whether 100 unarmed men could beat one prime silverback gorilla. But first, we gotta understand what force of nature we're up against. Now, I do have a couple recent videos on gorillas, so to not repeat myself too much, I do advise that you check those out for further context. But basically, everything we thought about gorillas back in the day was wrong. They're giant, non-violent, fart-happy pacifists, and the most dangerous thing about them is they can misunderstand regular human actions as an act of war. So while yeah, if you smile at a silverback enough times, he eventually will put beats on you like a Cherokee drum, most times a gorilla is just worried about the 6,000 calories he eats a day. And thank the stars for that. Gorillas are built like the developer had something to prove. They took the human model and said, drag to resize. The result is an alpha ape with a stronger bite force than a grizzly, allegedly, hands that can crush a crocodile's skull, allegedly, and just strength that we really have no way to truly comprehend. That man fully didn't plan to get casually ragdolled, but plans are always subject to change when you're around the prime ape. Gorillas might default to
Yeah, if they decide to drag you, you've got no choice in that matter. And I wonder, how would you're just in thoughts, how would you get a gorilla to show his full strength so that you can try to measure it on something? Like, I imagine you would have to figure out some kind of test room and then really piss off that gorilla and give him a target to attack. Even then, it's like, how do you do that without getting somebody hurt? I feel like somebody would screw up and somebody's going to get hurt trying to pull off something. At the same time, I feel like there's people who are crazy enough to try. There's always someone.
peace, but life is multiple choice. The question is, what kind of carnage comes when they choose violence? It's hard to imagine what a fully malice-motivated gorilla can do because it takes a lot for them to get to that point. The first phase of conflict involves using body language and gestures to send a message before hands even have to be thrown. Because for an animal that can spend over 12 hours a day eating, wasting calories on fights is poor resource management. The second phase of escalation usually involves pushing, grappling, and screaming in really short bursts. Gorillas fight the way they fuck. What I mean is, the phase they run are like how they're hung. Not long at all. Because again, most times gorillas don't actually want to fight. But what about when they do? Yeah, that would be phase 3, and that usually happens when two silverbacks throw down for control of a group. Losing such would mean losing the 3 F's: food, family, and the FCC won't let me finish, but stakes can make these fights to the death, and here's where we can see what gorillas are truly capable of. I found a research paper that detailed—
It's very true. If there's ever anything to make any animal fight with all they have, territory, food, and females. That's what it always comes down to.
the injuries sustained in gorilla-on-gorilla fights, and based on that, you see a pattern. Those teeth are for more than just undressing trees, and losers are often found with lacerations and puncture wounds all over the body. And unlike a leopard, which leaves small puncture wounds, the canines of a gorilla cause large gaping tears in victims. Even if the gorilla's bite strength has been exaggerated, which we will get into, even lowballing them puts them at the level of a hyena. One gorilla named Inshuti had his foot completely crushed with the tips of his fingers and ear bitten off. Gorillas also use their arms, not really to punch but to use as battering rams, and they've also been known to pull chunks of hair out with their hands. So safe to say, a gorilla's stiff arm to the back would crack your constitution like a glow stick and could dislocate or break human bones by accident. And with many victims also recorded with bite wounds to the face, you'd probably—
It's the by accident part that always gets me about gorillas. The fact that they can like you and accidentally injure you just being playful. Like, imagine getting a pat on the back and now you need back surgery. You know, that's always a thing that's been crazy to me. All right, so I don't know. Like, why is there that big of a gap? It's not even being mad at gorillas. What happened to us? You know, what happened to us that made us so weak that we just break against something like that? Why couldn't we be just a little bit stronger, right? I'd just be like, what happened to humanity?
Probably be able to unlock your iPhone from 20 feet away after a gorilla puts jaws on you. So what chance would an army of humans have against a 500-pound berserker? Well, hot take, gorillas have been drastically overrated in many ways. First as fighters. Gorillas aren't efficient fighters, they're more physical brawlers and grapplers, and with everything I've said, most fights last anywhere from a couple seconds to 1 to 2 minutes at the most. Also, as strong as gorillas are, their strength has been overrated. There are some animals that just get more and more OP the more people talk about them. Chimps have been said to have the strength of 8 men when really it's closer to 1.5. It's just that they're stronger in all the ways that can kill you. And grizzly bears are already big enough, but then you got people claiming they could decapitate a full-grown moose with one swipe. Now what idiot would say that? And
Oh man, shots fired. Shots fired. But yeah, you hear a lot of that about gorillas. And even when you talked about like with always like chimps.
really it's closer to 1.5. Their strength has been overrated. There are some animals that just get more and more OP the more people talk about them. Chimps have been said to have the strength of 8.
Yeah, chimps. Yeah, even with chimps, like you see that muscle structure. It's not even just the fact that they're naturally stronger than us. It's the fact that being out there in the wild, they're making sure that they're getting close to their peak of strength at the very least. So yeah, you just don't want to mess with one. And then again, with them being the more violent ones out there, they have plenty of experience with fighting and know exactly where to attack you.
8 men when really it's closer to 1.5.
And when I say exactly, I mean they don't play fair. They're gonna go for all the places that's gonna hurt the worst. Hint, hint.
It's just that they're stronger in all the ways that can kill you. And grizzly bears are already big enough, but then you got people claiming they could decapitate a full-grown moose with one swipe. Now what idiot would say that? And this debate has people swearing a gorilla would rip a whole man in half like a phone book with nary a sweat. I knew the gorilla propaganda peaked when this was an actual debate. Dr. Strange could conjure up 14 million realities. You won't find one where a plus-size protein-packing primate can do anything to a full-strength grizzly bear taking him seriously. Especially since there's a much smaller predator known to give gorillas problems. Gorillas have been documented getting preyed on by African leopards. Even with jungle leopards being bulkier due to less competition, that's still an at most 180-pound cat past tensing Optimus Prime. Now let me be fair, these are rare and leopards usually go for hoofed animals, wild pigs, and monkeys. Gorillas are actually too big and too social to be a regular on the grocery list, so it sounds like my whole point is trash. But that same paper listing gorilla on gorilla violence also showed the aftermath of leopard attacks. In those reports, all leopard victims took bite wounds to the head and most of the arms, with lacerations localized about the neck and claw marks on the trunk. So even though it is rare and a one-on-one between a silverback and a leopard might murk both, if a gorilla can struggle with less than 200 pounds of predator, a 900-pound Duratio would give Harambe a bunkmate.
And there's another layer to think of too, because of the fact that, again, talking about the chimps and how they're violent, so they have the experience, the knowledge, because it's what they do. Same thing for leopards. They're hunting. They know where to attack to take their prey down. And for, most cats, they go for the neck. And so if you put a predator who has honed their skills to be able to take down their target versus a very muscular vegetarian at the end of the day, yeah, it's gonna favor the predator because it's not just what they're capable of, it's their knowledge, it's what they know how to do, not just what they're capable of doing. A gorilla is capable of doing a lot, but as far as combat know-how, because they're pacifist creatures who are vegetarians, they're just not gonna have that. Again, just like I said, they flail, they brawl, they don't really fight in the sense of like, you say like a fighting IQ. From what we see here, gorillas don't really have a fighting IQ because of their lifestyle.
Also, against 100 men, there are some very real issues that could be game over for the gorilla. The big one is endurance. Gorillas are dangerously close to being hot girl fit. They're best using explosive bursts of energy, not sustained strain over a long period of time, and a fight against 100 humans would likely last hours. Which is really bad considering compared to us, gorillas have poor temperature control. Gorillas don't have as many sweat glands as humans, and if we're talking about mountain gorillas, the thick fur would make it a 1-on-1 versus 1. The men, and the risk of heat stroke. That is if the the ape doesn't just have a heart attack. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in gorillas in zoos, and 70% of male gorillas in zoos suffer from heart disease that'll past tense them prematurely. Now that might just apply to zoo gorillas, but it's still a factor. Another is the very temperament of the gorilla is highly non-contact.
And it's hard to tell if that only factors into zoo gorillas, because gorillas in the wild aren't going to let you give them checkups. Those zoo gorillas have been trained and conditioned to be able to interact with human beings to a certain extent. So yeah, it's not something we can really compare. What we can say is, because of the fact that, you know, it's been recorded in zoos, there's a good chance that the same heart conditions are, you know, they're dealing with those in the wild as well.
Confrontational. They're more likely to run away than run a fade. But most importantly, the brawling, grappling build is not a good combat style against multiple enemies. We know that cause there's a...
And it's funny, looking back at this picture, like I said, they're pacifists. But imagine if a gorilla was like a trained fighter. You know, they would be on the level of what people imagine them to actually be and everything. But again, how do you get a pacifist vegetarian to become a trained fighter and dedicate themselves to violence, especially when they're a completely different species? It's just not going to happen.
Combat style against multiple enemies. We know that cause there's another African predator that's been giving gorillas hell, and you may not have even realized it. And it's weird because for a while, gorillas and chimpanzees seem like they were on good terms. They've been recorded foraging together, and they'll even have their version of primate playdates. That all changed when the chimp started chimping. A couple years ago in Luongo National Park, scientists witnessed a gang of 18 chimps jump a gorilla family of 5. That's 3 females, 1 baby, and a silverback. The turf war lasted an hour, and even with the silverback apparently testing ragdoll physics, throwing chimps in the air, and even managing to injure 3, eventually he was surrounded and chased off by 9 chimps. The adults got away, but the chimps managed to snatch the baby gorilla of the group, which was promptly eaten. The second...
Yeah. As soon as that baby gorilla, I was like, oh, rest in peace, baby. You did not survive that.
attack involved 27 chimpanzees and 7 gorillas, and this time the silverback made a business decision and immediately climbed out of the trees and fled the scene. Yes, comparing chimps to humans is comparing durians to jackfruit. The moral here is the one gorilla can not only be overwhelmed, but neutralized by numbers. Because if there's one thing that's being dangerously underrated, it's the power of friendship. Don't laugh, I'm serious. If you remember this picture, then you know this was the...
Can't help but to laugh, no matter how true it is. It's like the person who gets jumped is usually not the person who's going to win. You know, the power of friendship is a real thing. It's called jumping people.
100 Men, 1 Gorilla of 2018. It's pretty self-explanatory. Everything here is coming for your life except the 2 you pick to run defense for you. And I'm just gonna kill the suspense. If one of those picks isn't the 10,000 rats, you have no idea how big 10,000 is. Add eagles for aerial support and the rest of the field would have over 200 rats to deal with each. And it's cause the power of plurality is one of the most broken strategies in nature. Mobbing refers to an anti-predator behavior where prey animals approach, harass, and sometimes attack their own predator. It's how one animal can shift an almost impossible matchup in their favor. One hyena to a lion is a chew toy. Add 20 and it's a life lesson. Pilot whales have been on record chasing orcas out of high competition areas and even actively following the sounds of orca hunts. There's plenty of examples of weaponized unity in nature, but probably my favorite case of what's a king to a mob happens off the coast of South Africa, where fur seals have to risk their spot on the census every time they check the fridge, cause the seals can't go out for groceries without the chance of running into the biggest predatory fish on earth. Every year, great white sharks will gather around fur seal nurseries and snatch any inexperienced pups. The problem is so many sharks show up that a seal can dodge one great white right into the jaws of another. You've seen this movie before, but there's an alternate ending. Scientists have recorded fur seals squatting up into one giant group and using their numbers to turn on the sharks closing in. And as the mob gets bigger, the seal force gets more confident, leading to them escorting the 20-foot assault submarines back out to sea. So with all this, now it doesn't seem like a stretch to favor 100 men over just one gorilla.
Or just or another example, I don't know if he might play it in here, but another example, if you guys seen the one with the gator being chased off by the family of sea otters. Now, of course, one sea otter would be done with a gator, but yeah, it looked like around 20 of them. He was after one, he got back to the group, they all was like, you know, yelling, making their noises and stuff like that, and basically keeping a tight group. And yeah, the gator turned around and was like, yeah, no, it's not worth it. And went back. Yeah, so the power The power of mobbing, the power of friendship, the power of having numbers on your side. The numbers game, it works. It's effective.
Could argue that the CEOs and the other mob merchants aren't actually
It's so effective that in human society, we had to try and nerf it. We had to try to call people like scary and punks and catch a fair one because it was just too OP. It was too OP.
getting physical with their final boss. That's true. Everyone's asking if 100 men could off a gorilla. No one's asking how. Well, that's why I'm here. But first, obligatory, don't try this on a gorilla, or at least don't blame me for the consequences if you do. In a fight against a simian weighing a shack and a half, it's all about attacking the weak points, and a gorilla's weak points are the same as ours. Eyes, throat, mouth, and for measure, the jewels of the south. It's all about delivering damage that actually matters, and to do that, someone would have to perform the Draymond Green special and go for the eyes and blind him. Someone else would have to suffocate the Super Saiyan.
Oh, man. Oh, that is hilarious. He called it the Draymond Green special. That is hilarious.
Simian, either by bear hugging his windpipe, which only Tarzan backpacking plot armor can do, or by shoving your entire arm down his throat. And since you're already negotiating your arm elbow deep in esophagus, you'd also have to pull the gorilla's tongue out. I call that the leopard method, because a 73-year-old once soloed an attacking leopard by reaching into its mouth and ripping out the leopard's liquor. And speaking of grab and pull, someone would have to be elected to perform Draymond's final smash and go for the gorilla's unmentionables. Hey, don't judge. This is war. The rest would have to use their combined strength to pin the primate down, with the remainder delivering kicks to the gorilla's flank, the most powerful natural attack to the gorilla's most vulnerable area. That would probably be the best way to chip away at a gorilla. One problem though, this is still a gorilla we're talking about. Even with everything I said about their strength being overrated, a gorilla fighting for its life would show you destruction like you've never seen. It doesn't matter how many men, the method, or the facet, for those first few, their only outcome is a closed casket. Even if numbers eventually win, those first dozen or so men would be horrifically maimed, mutilated, or straight up murked. You can argue that if I can mention that 100 men running over the hill would intimidate even a gorilla, witnessing men getting mauled and disfigured would inflict psychological damage. There's an argument that witnessing the sheer carnage would weaken the resolve of the others, destabilizing the army. And you have to remember, if mobbing is natural, doing so in a way that guarantees a portion of your team sees Tupac live isn't. Even animals like hyenas will fall back if they sense they don't have enough of an advantage in a clan fight.
I don't know what this pun is, but I know it's gonna be funny. But yeah, knowing he was going for the joke, I think I just lost what I was about to say. When you said clan fight, I kind of lost it. I'll come back to it if I remember.
Natural, doing so in a way that guarantees a portion of your team sees Tupac live isn't.
Oh yeah, it's about like people running away after they see somebody. We hear about that in like war stories and stuff like that. How people will sometimes get dishonorably discharged because they get cold feet after seeing one of their squad mates get taken out, and because of how they got taken out, the bullet came, took their head off, exploded and everything. And I can imagine that would be terrifying to see. Terrifying. But yeah, some people can't handle it. I could imagine a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle it. They just try to run. That's when, yeah. So it is a real thing. Even trained soldiers lose their nerves. So I could imagine 100 just unarmed dudes, and after about a dozen of them get tossed, they're like, run away! Monty Python Holy Grail, run away!
Even animals like hyenas will fall back if they sense they don't have enough of an advantage in a clan fight. But there's a catch. The tweet that started all this said, dedicated to that shit. Surely if men can watch bunkmates get blown to bits in a war, then you can find 100 willing to die about a gorilla.
Yeah, that is true as well. There are people who can handle it. So if the stipulations are people who are not going to run at all, and they're going to fight down to the bitter end, down to the last guy, then yeah, they're going to get them.
If they can withstand the visceral reaction of seeing jaws getting detached, limbs getting dislocated, and a field of open fractures, 100 men would definitely beat a gorilla. And moral of the story, we have strayed so far from the halo of Harambe. Yeah, this is the part where I do the annoying thing and turn a tweet made by someone who definitely wouldn't pass a P-test into a lecture. But like I said in the other video, gorillas have already been getting the middle finger from humanity, either in the wild or in zoos. Whether it's trophy hunting or bushmeat, habitat loss, or an unsupervised minor, humans have the highest KD ratio against our green machine cousins. Because a gorilla has never been on record life depriving a person, even when they may have had a reason. Yet the mountain gorilla is nearly in bed with extinction mostly because of humans. But not all humans. Some dedicate their entire lives to the welfare of this giga ape, which is why I will be donating to Virunga National Park. Not only do they treat and protect the gorillas there as family, they often have to risk their lives regularly going against poachers. That and the fact that I made a video detailing how to murk an endangered species makes my soul itch, so link down below if you'd like to donate as well. I'm not kidding when I say they're family. This man was seen comforting one of his young gorillas after his mother died. And fun fact, Virunga National is where we got this gem. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Fun little video that nobody should take seriously. Nah, but I think I'm gonna start doing the animal versus animal face-off videos again, so let me know what animal matchup you'd like to see me yap about. There's one I've been wanting to get into for a while. Friendly reminder that I have a book, 100 Animals That'll Bleeping End You. I'd say more, but the name's the marketing. Also, I have a Patreon, but reminder that your money's probably just gonna buy me lunch, so don't spend a check unless you've always wanted to indirectly feed me Wendy's. Or you might just fund my next trip. I mean, all this talk about gorillas, who knows? Maybe I'll go see one. Oh shit. But yeah, drink water, hug your mother.
You gotta
Please
go
don't
see
gang up
one.
on a gorilla.
I
We've
remember
been
that.
through enough.
You had to get so many likes. And you was like, you was gonna go, so you gotta go. We waiting for that video update.
And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
So yeah, that was a great one. Glad I caught up on it. Got like, he's like dropped 2 more, so I'll get at those later. But looks like we got another request from Ethan Levine. I hope I said your name right. If I didn't pronounce it right, my bad. But Tirzu. Okay. Another animal channel. Another pretty big animal channel. I didn't even know about them. You know what? Automatic subscribe. Excuse me. All right, so is there a specific one you want me to check out on here? Are wolves overpowered? Are hyenas overpowered? Okay. Whichever tier list I like. Okay, well, you know what? Let's go for whatever's the most popular. What's their most popular video? The lizard tier list. Okay. All right. Next reaction is up. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. All right, so what we got going on today? We got another request for another animal video. This one is the lizard tier list. Very interesting video. Well, very interesting title at the very least. So this is another request. Let's go ahead and jump into this. See what they're talking about on here. Let's go.
This video was made in
That was like equivalent to just getting slapped upside your head.
partnership with CuriosityStream. Reptiles are a diverse faction full of many strategies, and generally
You
speaking,
know what that reminded me of? When Froakie from My Hero Academia slapped the little pervert kid. That's what that reminded me of.
they tend to be fairly straightforward. Turtles are tank builds that spec into high defensive stats at the cost of mobility. Crocodiles are damage dealers that focus on grappling to secure kills. Snakes optimize for stealth and rely on status effects to bring down their targets. But where do lizards fit into the meta? They aren't really known for extreme speed, but as far as cold-blooded builds go, they're quicker than most. And while not as tanky as turtles, and not as stealthy as snakes, they can hold their own in each of these departments as well. Some of the larger lizards can even give crocodilians a run for their money in the power category too. While many of them could best be described as jack-of-all-trades generalists, there are also plenty of lizards with extremely unique abilities. So to better understand the many different game plans employed by the lizard player base, today we're going through the lizard tier list. Before we get into the tier list though, first I'd like to start with some background on the history of the lizard faction. So back during the Carboniferous expansion, the meta revolved around the conflict between the two most powerful factions, the amphibians and the arthropods. However, during this time, a small subsection of the amphibian player base unlocked two new special abilities, the eggshell, which allowed them to respawn on dry land rather than in the water, and scales, which gave them massively increased dehydration resistance. This eliminated their reliance on...
Oh man, I love the fact that these days YouTube channels that do this kind of stuff, they describe evolution in video game terms. It's always hilarious to me. But it's great for people to understand because most people understand video game terms these days. I just love it. I just love where we're at in society right now.
Water and allowed them to explore tons of new strategies, eventually diversifying into all of the reptile builds in today's meta, as well as a few that were so overpowered that they ended up getting nerfed. The most powerful lizard build of all time was the Mosasaurus, a build that arose from a player base of beach-dwelling monitor lizards that spec'd into aquatic mobility options in order to avoid being griefed by dinosaurs. But one of the most powerful lizards of today's meta? We're actually going to begin in D tier, as I don't think there are any truly awful lizard builds. The adaptations they've made to eliminate the weaknesses of their amphibian...
That shows a bias right there. That's a bias. He's like, no F tiers. You could have picked something. You could have found something that could have fit F tier.
Ancestors is enough to escape bottom tier, in my opinion. So how do lizards stack up? Let's get into the tier list. In D tier, we have the skink, a smaller lizard build with very little in the way of unique special abilities. Their stats are also quite low, and their game plan generally just consists of chasing down players in the lower weight classes, and struggles pretty hard when forced to defend itself. In particular, this build has a lot of trouble dealing with birds. Despite the fact that it often hunts in grassy fields, it lacks the stealth stats required to avoid detection from above. In fact, many skinks are known for being brightly colored or having one specifically brightly colored body part.
Why are they called skanks? Like, wait, which came first? Were they named skanks first, or did skanks come first? And somebody, I need to know. I need to know who comes first, because if their name came second, that's foul. That's all kinds of foul. I need to know historically which one was called skanks first, the animal skanks or the skanks that we all know of skanks. Tell me.
Skinks try to avoid being griefed by digging burrows for themselves, and while burrows are a great hiding place, the burrowing playstyle tends to work best when you've got the ability to launch a powerful attack in a single direction, since the bottleneck of a burrow makes it near impossible for a predator to approach without getting hit. Skinks can't really mount any sort of attack, so if their burrow gets discovered, it's most likely game over. The one defensive ability they do have is one commonly found in the lizard player base, autotomy. Autotomy allows the user to drop their tail in order to get one free escape from a combo or grab. Now, to be fair, being able to break out of your opponent's death combos is an extremely useful trait that can save you from certain defeat. But with that said, autotomy is extremely costly to use, isn't guaranteed to work, and leaves you with reduced max HP for the rest of the game, even if your character has regenerative abilities. For the larger lizard builds, losing your...
I mean, at least you're still alive. Like, could you imagine getting attacked by a predator and it's got your leg and you could just pop off your leg? I'm not sure how painful it would be. The way they dislodge, I would assume it's not that painful for them. So, like, imagine you could just pop your leg off without it hurting you and just hop away. And you have the ability to grow a new leg back. I'd call that a pretty OP move.
Your tail also removes one of your best offensive options. But for the skink, this isn't as big a problem. With all that being said, skinks are one of the more lackluster lizard builds, so let's keep going and get to the more interesting ones. Also in D tier, we have the basilisk lizard, which is most notable for its use of the sprint ability, not just to move fast on land, but also to cross bodies of water. At first, this ability seems quite impressive, and it certainly is a flashy move, but upon further examination, I don't think it's really all that useful in the long run. Being on the surface of the water is quite possibly the most vulnerable position in the game, leaving you open to attacks from above and below. But ultimately, I think it's more important to just point out that the whole reason the reptile faction split off from the amphibian player base in the first place was to remove their reliance on water. So choosing an ability with a pretty situational use that also requires that the user be on the water's edge to use it is kind of a step backwards in the grand scheme of things. The basilisk doesn't even have bad stats. it couldn't use the water dash move without above average mobility.
Okay, personal thought here. I think Basilisk should be higher on the list. I think it shouldn't be in D tier. It may not have any offensive or defensive abilities, but agility and speed says for a lot. Did you see how fast he went past that swimming pool? Let's bring that back real quick.
That also requires that the user an amphibian player base in the first place was to remove their reliance on water.
Look at
so
this.
choosing an ability with a pretty
gone.
situational use that
like he might be like exposing himself, and fast enough animal with the right timing will catch him, but fast enough with the right timing. You're not just chasing him down and just snatching him up unless you are very superior and just as like quick and agile. So I think that should at least be C tier. At least. I don't think he belongs in D tier.
also requires that the user be on the water's edge to use it is kind of a step backwards in the grand scheme of things. The Basilisk doesn't even have bad stats. It couldn't use the water dash move without above average mobility. But still, I think its choice of moveset is pretty self-limiting, and they'd be better off speccing into other signature moves. In C tier, we have two lizard builds who invested heavily into the climbing ability. The Gecko build operates in a similar manner to the Tree Frog, with cling pads enabling it to climb any surface with ease. As far as mobility perks though, this is probably one of the best in the game. It works great as an escape option, but is also fantastic for utility and even for offense, allowing the user to approach
Man, it's crazy to think, like this right here.
As far as mobility,
right here with the Mantis, you look at the thickness and the difference and everything, you would think that the Gecko would have this, but if he lets that Mantis grab onto him, he's done. Mantises are crazy powerful and fast.
Perks though, this is probably one of the best in the game. It works great as an escape option, but is also fantastic for utility and even for offense, allowing the user to approach targets that are normally harder to reach. Being able to hang on tight is also super important for arboreal combat, as fall damage is a major threat. With such a strong clinging ability, geckos can often be the ones tossing other players into the void below. Geckos do have a fair number of weaknesses though. They opt to use their tails to store energy, which can be a useful ability, but unfortunately in doing so, they take away the option to use their tails to attack. Geckos also do not have scales, instead opting for skin that gives disease resistance bonuses, so their armor class is lower than that of most lizards, and actually more akin to amphibians. Because of this, they're quite vulnerable to piercing damage.
So, no physical defense, but high defense against all status elements.
Such as bird talons and snake fangs. And with relatively low damage output, their only real hope against such attacks is stealth, which some do definitely excel at. All in all, solid mid-tier. The Anoli is a small, agile lizard build with a surprising number of special abilities, most notable of which are their adhesive toe pads and their color-changing skin. Most builds that run the cling pad ability tend to be more bulky and cumbersome. Anolis emphatically break this mold, being both excellent climbers and having a climbing speed that rivals that of the squirrel. Because of this, they're great at escaping attacks by jumping between trees and scrambling up branches. But where things really get interesting is with the color change perk. Now, the ability to change colors is one of the most downright broken stealth perks in the game, and one of the main reasons I consider cephalopods top tier. Anolis have probably the most basic version of the color change perk, allowing them to shift between green and brown at will. While nowhere near as
Why did they put that scene up? And then you saw they purposely chose the angle of having the leaf in front of it. I'll never understand the mindset of some people. Who wanted to see that?
Versatile as some other color changing builds. Green and brown are pretty much all you'd need the vast majority of the time. This change is very gradual though, so it's unlikely to allow you to escape mid-combat. Which is unfortunate because, similar to the Gecko, the Anoli suffers from a lack of combat options when caught out in the open. Last in C tier we have the Gila Monster. The Gila Monster is one of the tankier lizard builds, and possesses one of the highest damage outputs in the game for its size. It owes this high damage not to its actual power stat, but to its venomous bite, a rare ability among lizards. This makes them extremely dangerous in close combat, and combined with their excellent defensive stats and digging ability, this allows them to easily vanquish all of the players in any nest it discovers. The Gila Monster is extremely slow moving though, which can cause issues if it's ever forced to flee, or if it needs to chase down a target. The lack of a long whip-like tail also means its defensive combat options aren't near as diverse as other larger lizards. Still, with one of the most devastating bites in the game, it's certainly no low tier. In B tier, we've got the tried and true Iguana, arguably the best representative of the lizard build as a whole, as it has essentially all the main weaknesses and strengths of its class. I have an entire video on the Iguana, so go check that out if you want an in-depth review, but in short, the Iguana sports mid-range stats across the board, and is the first lizard on the tier list to make use of its tail for something other than a sacrificial scapegoat. The Iguana's tail whip attack allows it to control a solid defensive zone around itself in all directions, enabling it to defend itself from group attacks. Tail Whip's damage is on the low side though, so a persistent attacker could potentially just eat the damage in order to break through and land its own attacks.
Now you see, Pokemon, it's supposed to do some level of damage. Tail Whip should do some level of damage. That's proof right there. You should be updating that. Come on, Game Freak. Figure it out.
The Iguana also has access to the Autotomy ability, but this is especially costly in the Iguana's case, as it'd also be giving up its best combat move in the process. Overall, a solid mid-tier with lots of potential, especially in the marine servers. The Chameleon build sports several of the most unique abilities in the game. So most lizards, especially the insectivorous ones, have a pretty simple game plan for taking down enemies. Chase them down and grab them. This strategy has a lot of limitations though. First of all, it means you've got pretty much no options to attack a player who is too large to grab. It also forces you to optimize heavily towards mobility, forcing you to neglect other potential strategies in order to have a chance at catching up to your target. The Chameleon subverts this limitation by speccing into one of the strangest abilities in the game, a tether tongue attack. This essentially functions as a ranged grab, and is extremely effective at scoring the Chameleon kills. This also
He's the Belmont of lizards with that extra range with the whip.
allows the Chameleon the freedom to prioritize other stats over mobility, and in the Chameleon's case, they're clearly optimized for stealth, as evidenced by their other special ability, Color Change. Now, while chameleons can change color in order to buff their camouflage, most use it for communication and intimidation, shifting to brighter colors to display dominance. While they don't have the same cling pads that geckos and anoles do, their prehensile tail gives them extra security to ensure that they don't get easily ripped out of trees, and allows them to attack from riskier positions. With all this said though, they still struggle when caught out in the open because of their low mobility. And they also share the same offensive weakness of not being able to take down players that they can't gulp down in a single bite. The Tegu is a lizard build that has long been overlooked, but has recently become a serious contender on the tier list. Its recent invasion into the North American server has destabilized the local meta, and when you look at their stats, it's easy to see why. Tegu's
I love how he says local meta instead of just like the local wildlife. It's like, it was an update that threw the game off. We need a patch. We need a patch.
are similar in both strategy and stats to the Iguana, but slightly slower and more defense-oriented. Their thicker hide and stockier build allows them to shake off attacks that would send other characters reeling. They've also got a higher intelligence stat than most lizards, which in addition to making them surprisingly decent support builds, also makes them great at outsmarting builds like alligators in order to attack their nests. Tegus are also omnivores, meaning they aren't forced to participate in PvP in order to level up. They did spec into the Autotomy ability though, which I unfortunately think keeps them out of top tier. Before I reveal the top tier lizards, I just want to say real quick, if you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, it would sure make my day if you subscribed. Thanks. So without a shadow of a doubt, the best lizard build is the Monitor Lizard. They have everything. They've got the best stats, a combination of great mobility, power, size, and
Smacking the crap out of
intelligence.
that cat.
Similar to the Iguana, Monitor Lizards have an extremely powerful tail whip, capable of deterring even top-tier predators. Monitor Lizards also have a venom.
And the ability to deter predators, it's such a lifesaver for them. You saw how those cats ran when they got slapped. Because the thing about predators is, when they go on a hunt, they understand the concept of risk versus reward. And if you get them to think that going after you can result in an injury, they'll opt to leave you alone. And you don't even have to be capable of doing so. If you make them think, for most predators, if you make them think that attacking you will get them injured, maybe break an arm or something like that, or a puncture wound or something like that, they'll usually back off. Because the last thing you want to do as a predator is go after the animal, whether or not you actually get it, and then you get injured, and now the game is up for you. They can't run to the hospital, the local clinic. If they get injured, they're usually done. You get lucky ones every time a group of do-gooding humans. Why couldn't I say that? I went to say it and mess it all up. When you get a group of do-gooders who are, humans and everything, who have that medical tech with them at the time, they'll be able to help them out. But if they're that lucky, most animals in the wild, once they're injured, they're done.
Bite, which again is a rarity in the lizard faction. While not the speediest lizards outright, they do have great versatility in their movement, being able to swim efficiently as well as climb most surfaces, though not to the same degree as the marine iguana or the gecko respectively. Their high intelligence enables them to consistently figure out ways to successfully raid the spawn points of other players, and their high defense makes it so they can be rather difficult to stop once they've committed to an attack. This faction also contains the most powerful lizard in the game, a lizard that reaches near dinosaur power levels.
The Komodo dragon, I knew it.
Komodo dragons are extremely powerful. They have a venomous bite that, while not as powerful as cobra venom, is still powerful enough to seriously weaken even the tankiest builds. But even without that, they'd be an absolute powerhouse. Their tail swipes, claw slashes, and thrashing bites can easily shred through the HP of their targets. Their only real weakness is their speed, which, while solid, isn't broken by any means. Still, with their incredible sense of smell, a player can never really truly escape a Komodo that's hunting them. The distance that you need to flee in order to make the Komodo unable to track you down would require you to leave the island server entirely. Last but certainly not least, Komodo.
So venom, powerful bite, powerful claws, powerful tail, decent speed, incredible tracking abilities through its smell. I would say, yeah, the Komodo dragon is a little OP. A little OP. The Komodo dragon needs a nerf.
Komodos, as well as the entire monitor lizard player base, understand that their tails are an invaluable weapon that shouldn't be sacrificed in order to escape a battle. So there you have it, the lizard tier list. Hopefully now you've got a good understanding of the lizard's strategies and matchups. Admittedly, there were a few things I had to cut from the script of this video to avoid demonetization or age restriction. If you want to see the director's cut of this episode,
which is kind of weird because that means that the earlier clip of the skank, where he lost his tail and you was able to show that, but they flagged you for showing the other lizard's tail separated. I swear YouTube will be so weird sometimes.
So you can check it out on Nebula, a streaming service made by and for creators. I do this with all of my new videos, uploading ad-free and uncensored versions of my videos there, as well as a few entirely exclusive videos. In addition, you can check out my appearance.
I was thinking about starting on Nebula. I need to vet them and see how they really operate before I do, but I'm really thinking about it. I think it's more like, a paid, so where you like fans have to pay in, so I don't know. But we'll see. But yeah, that was a great video. Very interesting stuff. And very interesting tier list. And honestly, I would say he needs to make a follow-up. There's plenty of lizards out there that he could go over and put them in the different tier lists. I think the one of them deserved to be in C tier instead of D tier, but it's his list, not mine. That's just my opinion. But other than that, great video. Definitely be checking out more. All right, so y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be sure to check out the streams. We'll be streaming at least once a week, usually on Tuesday afternoons. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. So as always, take care of yourselves, and I'm out of here. All right, that's it for that one. Okay, and yeah, we've been doing this for like 2 hours. Again, for anyone new who dropped in, this is a test stream, so I'm not planning on going too much longer. Let me see, off Kick. Hey, homie, I checked your video. Seems like you're new to Kick. Yes, I am. This is actually my first official stream on Kick. So not yet affiliated or verified. I got to propose you by sharing your stream to a Kick community. You can gain 1,000 followers, earning at least per stream. And enable sub button, add me. Okay, I will hit you up. I'll definitely hit you up on Discord. Thank you so much. So let me see here. I could probably squeeze one more in. I'll give you guys a moment if there's anything else you want me to react to right now, just for fun and everything. We could do one more. Let me know. Otherwise, we've been going for 2 hours. I've been monitoring my all of my streams and everything has been solid. I haven't seen any drops, any buffering and like that. So I think I am good to go on this. I think my setup is nice, and now I just need to start polishing it to make it look better. But yeah, other than that, is there anything that you guys want to talk about or anything like that before I close out this session? I'm probably gonna do like maybe 1 or 2 more test streams in the following week while I get stuff together and add more stuff to my stream, and then we'll be because I'm actually on vacation this week as well, so I have free time on my hands to do this stuff. And then from there, we're just gonna get this going. Let me see here. Yeah, we've been going for almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. We're almost there. Let me see. Say cheap view on stream. Okay, more people advertising other platforms. Okay, guys. Well, yeah, I don't see anybody popping in to give any other requests out. So, yeah, we're going to let that be it. Thank you so much for joining. Those of you who popped in and checked us out and everything. Keep your eyes out. Gonna, like I said, probably do another test stream in a couple of days and everything. But if you like what you see, go ahead and whichever platform you on, follow me on there. If you want to check out my videos, check out my YouTube. I have 3 active channels right now. Well, one I'm about to make more active. This is this channel, my reaction channel, that I'll be doing most of my streams on. I have my Star Wars channel, so if you're big into Star Wars and like lore videos and breakdown videos, that's what I do on there. And my gaming channel, I'm gonna start streaming games again and making gaming content, so definitely check that out right there. So RYUDO'S Reactions, Rogue Jedi Order, and RYUDO Games. Okay, guys, so that's it for now. Once again, thank you so much for those of you who did join us. And I will see you guys in a couple of days for the next test stream after I've polished this and touched it up a little bit. All right, guys. So, till next time, take care of yourselves, and I am out of here.